Yo guys, what is good? Acid once again with another Exos video. And today we're taking on the Path of Trials 456 in the Lenombe Road. And I have to say, whoa, this is not made for free-to-play players. But let's get into it. Alright, so I have 3 clips for you and I will go over them while they're playing. And yeah, you can see from my commentary what is going on. So let's start with that. Alright, so this is stage 4, I believe. And yeah, so I picked the most free-to-play team that I could think of that still has enough damage and can do it in the right amount of turns. So Otard could be replaced with any kind of damage dealer that you have. Bernadette would be great here. I just picked her because she was up in the line. And our general gameplay strategy is just kill the first row. Like this first instance is not really difficult. So there's nothing we have to worry about. Colin is really amazing in terms of being able to break things really quickly, and he makes life just so much easier. Liffy could be replaced by literally any dark damage dealer. I prefer her because she has an AoE, but if you have Baelish, if you have Ramji, Shufraken, like any of those, they would be perfectly fine. Adams would be fine, but you would take at least one hit from one of the dark units, and I prefer to not get hit if I can somehow prevent it. So here you can see Liffy, I get my turn. I actually attack everybody just because these dark units don't have that much damage. Sorry, not these dark units, these thruster units don't have that much damage, so I thought my Liffy might be able to survive, and it's worth the risk. Here I go for the AoE because I already got my thrust counter, so I thought, okay, just nuke them and then I don't have to deal with trying to somehow get my Liffy to break them again. And yeah, from here on out, it's basically just nuking, what's his face? Akin? I think that's his name. As fast as possible to be able to clear the turns. You can see we do a good amount of damage to him, and yeah, so this stage is nothing special and you should be able to do it if you're late mid game. You just need to have the right damage stats. That's basically it. And there we go. Get another thrust. Colin breaks both of them. And now, yeah, it's just killing them off. Now they don't present any form of danger, and Starter will finish the job. Nice. Let's get into the next one. Okay, so now we're at stage 5 and it becomes a little bit more difficult. I picked here Bernadette, and any water damage dealer would be good. However, you're kinda stuck with probably Reed Marie, because she's the only one who has an AoE dot, which helps you in the 3rd stage of this particular battle. And yeah, Reed Marie, especially FC Reed Marie, has the 1 mana AoE, so that helps you. if you don't have that, Speaker is fine. Preferably somebody fast. Whaler is probably too slow for you to do this kind of thing. Like, you will take too much damage. So you can see that the further along you go, the more specific your units have to be. So these guys, you don't want to ever attack with like a regular attack, because then they get this increased dodge. So you want to break them all the time. If they get the increased dodge, you basically need to wait a turn. You will not be able to hit them successfully unless you get extremely lucky. These fights can drag on for days. That's why you need at least one fire AoE dealer, and you need to make sure that they have enough mana. Sabrina would work well here because she has it only on 3 mana instead of 5. Xeon would be great. You have FC Xeon, even better. Other than that, this stage is nothing too special. Once we get to the boss, however, this is the part where she's fast enough that she can nuke somebody down if you're unlucky. Here Reed Marie comes in so perfectly. FC Reed Marie. If you have just regular Reed Marie, you would need to use the AoE, but yeah, you need to watch your mana more carefully. Here, go in with the AoE to just knock them all off the field and only have to deal with her. And this becomes a rather lengthy fight, and I think we speed this up because there's not much to talk about. Here, one thing that you have to be aware of is that she puts on reflect. So, and there's nothing much you can do because there isn't really much buff removal in this game, if at all. Like, so you need to really watch what you're doing. Here my starter got hit pretty heftily, which is not nice. I have the mana for her. As long as you win the fight before your unit die, even if they die to reflect, it shouldn't matter. Because my starter here died, but it shouldn't matter too much because it's still it should still apply before the actual fight is over. And now we get to my least favorite place in the entire world. This one is a pain in the ass. As you can see here, I'm trying out with a team that I think might be able to do it with way better gear. However, it didn't work out. I had, and I'm not gonna, like, this is not an over exaggeration, over 50 fights, 2 hours. I went in, I tried everything that I could that was somehow manageable with a decently free-to-play friendly, a decently like budget-friendly team. And no, it's simply not possible at this point without like being ridiculously lucky. So I'm using FC Iris here. I switched over because I was constantly lacking behind mana, so I needed that. Then I switched in even Garth to provide my weapon with 1 extra mana just to be able to revive constantly. And it goes, or seemingly it goes well. So either you get wrecked at this first stage, by these guys that constantly heal, or you get wrecked in the next stage. It doesn't matter which one. You will most likely fail the turn timer if you're not fast enough to like basically wipe them out in a second. I have done this with 3 stars, but I'm basically using a full Fate Core Super Whale team that most of the people don't have unless they spend a decent amount of money. I'm talking about FC Rara, FC Ulum, FC Garf, FC Iris, and FC Annie. Like, it's a full Fate Core team that just goes through. Sorry, it wasn't FC Annie, it was FC Bathory. And I cleared this out just by nuking everybody down and preventing them from basically killing me outright. I have the ability to survive a turn, which makes it easy enough for me. So here, this was the perfect run, I thought. It was like, yes, maybe it is possible with like a decently high budget team, but still not too bad, because there's still 3 obtainable units in there. And then my FC Lepin died. And at this point, like, please don't be mad at me. I also only have limited time, and I spent 2 hours on this trying to get this done in a somewhat good fashion, but I wasn't able to do it. I might try again and do something with it, but where I'm at with the gear, it's simply not possible for me. This road, the Path of Trials, is definitely made for endgame. We're at the stage where we technically aren't supposed to do it, but because we progress so quickly due to Dragon Blood, due to like a lot of catch up mechanics to catch up to the Korean server, we're able to clear some of the stages which, again, we shouldn't be able to clear. One of the big indicators is that, like, with a good team of a good amount of faded heroes, I'm barely touching normal. And with normal difficulty, you shouldn't be able to clear this on 3 stars. Without extreme luck, I think that's already the end of the journey, because if we're stuck at 6 in trying to beat this on 3 stars with a semi-affordable team, then none of these following stages are possible. In case you wonder why I haven't progressed, it's because I do stuff like this where I'm testing. So I don't know if this is like a cop-out. I feel like it. But again, like, this content is not made for people that are not in the high-end game, that don't have like a lot faded gear. Just to show you the heroes that I'm using, just so you can see what we're working with. So we used Garf, and you can see he had a full blue set, and he was getting one-tapped. Full blue set, 7000 HP, like 800 block. He was getting one-tapped right away. And he's by far my tankiest unit. Like, if you compare it with Iris like 5,700. She has a machine set on her, like she is still not fully built, but yeah, like this is basically what we're working with. Then my Astarte, same, not fully built. You have seen her a bunch of times actually, and with these stats you can one-shot most of the enemies once you are in burst range, but before that you won't be able to. My Otard is nothing special, so you could basically use anything that has a decent attack. Like it would be better to use somebody like Sabrina, or maybe like anybody who is fast. Zeon might actually be too slow, so you want to get over the 100 mark to be able to one-tap them. Zeon might be a little bit too slow. What else did we use? I tried Dagus a lot. So Dagus was the unit that I tried instead of Garth. But as you can see, like this amount of defense meant nothing. He was getting one shot. So at some point I just gave up. He would need a full faded set and way more defense. Way more levels into it. So with 75 units, you're basically getting tapped too hard. Lepin, her gear could definitely use improvement. Who else were we using? I think that's it. Alright, Wilkes. So Wilkes, I think, is the way to go if you want to break successfully in stage 6. There's nobody who can do it better than her, because everybody else needs mana. I tried it with Baelish, but yeah, if you don't get to the first stage immediately of breaking them, they will just hit all the units and kill them. Yeah, so definitely not early game, mid game friendly. I am totally wrong in what I said about the Path of Trials in my patch note review, where I was like, oh yeah, this is open after 4.16 or 4.6, whatever it was. This is great because it's open for mid-game players as well. So great for the whole community. Yeah, no. It should be finished after you cleared out 10-11. Because it just gets frustrating. Frustrating to a point where I played this so much and I'm so annoyed that I don't want to touch this for a while. Like, this is the amount of annoyance, of frustration that I get from this content, because it's out of our reach, but it's here already, right? So, and yeah, I can blast through this with my, not blast through it, but I can clear it with my regular teams. However, this doesn't make for a good video, I guess. So, yeah, I will finish this one up. I still hope you enjoyed it, and I will tackle Upers next, because that looks way more achievable for free-to-play players than this stuff. And this stuff is not content that you need to rush through, while the Labyrinth definitely is something you want to get as quickly as possible to get those monthly rewards. So if you like my content, consider subscribing, it helps me out a lot. And let me know in the comments how you feel about this content. What do you think I should try out? Like, if you have any ideas about any units and how I should basically build up to this content with free-to-play friendlier units, let me know. As always, it was a pleasure to have you here, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, enjoy the grind.